A senior Al-Qaeda leader, seen in a new propaganda video, happens to be a hardcore terrorist who we let go from Gitmo 3 years ago. Yep, Ibrahim al-Kozi made his jihadism no secret from us, yet we bid him adieu. And now he's back to running a small boutique selling gourmet chocolates while raising French bulldogs. I kid, he's planning your death. Apparently, we were told that this guy was placed in a reintegration program. Well, guess what? It's a success. He reintegrated as a cold-blooded monster. Who'd have thunk it? Well, we all did. So once again, libs refuse to connect the dots, meaning they will say close Gitmo without pondering the outcome, that next dot. Instead, after an act of terror, they'll chase down a guy who made a video about Muhammad, the opposite of connecting a dot. And so the great liberal failure calls for the predictable conservative rescue, meaning someone's got to hunt him down and kill him because our commander in cool let him go. The failure to connect dots mars most liberal ideas. You can advocate ending successful programs that keep us secure or trash behaviors that lead to productive lives because for the left, the old way is always evil. And no need to figure out a better way afterward. Just find something else to ruin. It's all part of that fuzzy utopia fueled by blood and stupidity. And so we release a mass killer who boosts the body count around the globe. It's a dot that all of us could connect, except for a dot-challenged president. Anybody here surprised this guy went back into the killing business? I'll go to you first, Greenie.
Greenie says that this is no surprise, that this is part of President Obama's failure as it relates to foreign policy and national security because his reintegration program and releasing of a dangerous terrorist like this has just served to provide fodder and cover for enemies. Like, this is what he's doing right here. And it's so shameful and embarrassing that this is a guy who made himself very clear about what he wanted to do to the U.S. and to other people. He's a top leader in al-Qaeda, and he's gone right back out to do it again. That is the problem with recidivists. Like, why do you expect a different outcome?
Can we go back to that picture of him, two pictures before? Was he having a big bowl of cream of tomato soup and just didn't notice that his beard?
No, it's called Just for Jihadi Men.
Oh, really? Wow. I think there's a strip club for that. Okay.
Now you've done it.
Devil's advocate here. Yeah. Could this release be on purpose? Maybe they put a chip in him and they're tracking him.
Well, then the previous administration obviously had the same grand plan because this is a bipartisan thing. This happened under the previous administration and this one. What I don't understand, and actually this is a legitimate question, why can't we try these guys in federal court like we tried a whole bunch of other terrorists? And then if they're found guilty, and I'm sure this guy would have been, send him to Supermax. I know everybody thinks that they're going to escape from Supermax, be the first people on the planet, whoever has.
You know who's against that?
Who?
Hillary Clinton.
I think she's wrong.
She was for it before she was against
I think
it
she's wrong.
She saw the polls and she said, oh my gosh, no one called
luckily
that
I'm not running for president, so I could say something unpopular.
So it's not quite bipartisan.
Escape. It's that they're going to radicalize other
in
Americans.
Supermax, they're not near anybody.
Did you realize that this guy pled guilty? So he's not pondering innocence of jihadi scum. It's actually, this is a bad guy. He's like, hey, what's up? I'm a bad guy. Oh, yes, put me through this, like, you know, recycling, reintegration program, and I'll come out twice as bad and, like, a little bit more awesome for terror.
Or there's the other alternative. You can execute him. He's plotting against killing Americans. That's another alternative. And then we don't have to put him up for the next 30 years at $100,000 per year per prisoner.
Just execute him.
What a surprise that this guy returns to the battlefield.
But I mean, without a trial?
He's guilty. He pled guilty.
He pled guilty.
But I don't know. If someone's pointing a gun at you, I don't wait for a judge to show up.
Bolling, it's been adjudicated. He pled guilty.
But think about what the Obama administration has done, and Julie points out maybe it's happened other times, but they also traded 5 known terrorists for 1 Bergdahl. We don't even know. And now he may end up going to court as well. You know, President Obama it's like he's just walking around here, just making this stuff as he goes along, instead of declaring a war, a firm war, a strong war against terror, which means don't let guys like this out. Don't trade guys like this. Kill them if you have to. Try them if you have to. Interrogate them if you have to. Don't close Gitmo. Do what you have to do to win the war.
Gitmo is another one of those things that he can't let go. It's like climate change. I got to get this done.
Right.
I got to get this done. Can I roll this shot of earnest today on Gitmo detainees? Let's do that.
Any report about a former Gitmo detainee re-engaging in the fight would be a source of significant concern and something that we would take quite seriously. You know, based on what we know so far, more than 90% of those who have been transferred from Guantanamo Bay have not re-engaged in the fight. But we are certainly paying close attention, even if we find unconfirmed reports about those who may have.
I apologize to America for playing that sound on tape.
90% is really good if you're graduating a high school class, but not that great if you are trying to.
So 10% go back out.
But I mean, remember 2012, Yemen is in a different place.
Yeah.
Okay? So I also think that you have to look at the collapse of foreign policy in the Middle East writ large, and Yemen being one of the places. Remember that President Obama said that this was one of the models that we wanted to look after, and then like the next day it fell apart. So if you can't track them, if you can't have a good relationship with that government to be able to track these guys, it's a problem. It was bipartisan. Yes, George Bush wanted to close Gitmo as well. It's just, you know what? It was really hard. So it wasn't closed by the time Obama got there. The first day on the job, President Obama said, oh, yeah, by the way, how do we close Gitmo? And they said, oh, sir, by the way, that's hard. And he's been trying to keep that promise ever since. I don't think anyone will hold it against him if Gitmo is still open by the time he leaves. I certainly won't.
Well, there's, what, 104, 107 left in Gitmo, so he's going to have to, he's got his work cut out.
But here's the problem.
It's a lot of releases over the next year.
Now you've got somebody else to, like, boom, put out jihadist propaganda, you know, for AQAP, who's now competing, right, in the you know, Olympics of jihad against ISIS. And now we've got both of them trying to outdo each other, trying to encourage acts to inspire others. It's unbelievable. It's a far worse situation than we were in.
You're going to have to, if you let 4 out at a time, you're going to have, what is that, 25 releases over the next year, two a month.
Yeah. Well, maybe he'll come back on a K-1 visa.
But they can just do a massive prisoner swap.
No, the only way is on the tip of a Predator drone. That's how Obama has to fix this.
Like, a Bergdahl is now Taliban currency. It's 5 terrorists. All right.
Is it a Bergdahl?
That's a Bergdahl.
Bitcoin?
Yeah, it's Bitcoin. It's a terrorist Bitcoin.